Well, let's talk a little bit about now the pandemic, the coronavirus. Where do you see us? It's now July, beginning of July 7th, 2020. Where do you see this in 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, 12 months?
Sure.
What's the end result?
Let's start with the end and work back. The people that are working on the vaccine are confident in their results, that they're also working on ways to distribute the vaccine. Usually what happens, a company will develop the vaccine and then worry about distribution. But it's about five US companies are doing that concurrently. And so most of the projections that I've heard is that by Q2 of next year is when we'll start seeing, a vaccine potentially as early as into Q1, and then the distribution and widely accepted use of the vaccine by Q2. So we're more than 6 months away, and going to have to continue to deal with this. And this is always going to be in the background. We know what we need to do. Aggressive testing, right? The problem is, when a system is stressed, everybody at the beginning before the stress says, "Oh, this is how it works. This is only how much time it takes." But when the system actually gets stressed, you realize that it shouldn't take 10 days to get a response from a COVID-19 test. We should be getting that immediately. So you have to have aggressive testing. And then, and part of aggressive testing means a response to that test quickly. So then you can quarantine and separate that individual and do the contact tracing to do that. We should be using technology to do contact tracing. So these are the systems that need to be in place. And as we start talking about schools getting back to work, everybody wants to see schools open, right?
For sure.
Parents
Especially
want to make
parents.
sure that, absolutely. But, right now today, I can say, there's 300 kids under the age of 12 in just El Paso that have COVID-19. And I think in San Antonio, it's about 1,900 kids under the age of 19 that actually have it. And so what happens, and how would that spread in this environment? And can we make sure schools have PPE, that they have aggressive testing, and that we ensure that population is taken care of? And so this is going to be hard and it also requires individuals to have the discipline and the tenacity. We all want to increase our social contacts, right?
For sure.
We want to go hang out with our friends. And the way this is being transmitted is not because you got it at the grocery store. It's because you're hanging out with people that you haven't hung out with in a while. And that's how it's being spread. And so, again, in San Antonio, this is doubling all elements, infections, the number of people having to go to the hospital bed use and deaths is doubling about every 6 or 7 days.
And that's one of the things, as somebody with some math chops like you and a little math experience with me, it's very hard for people to really wrap their head around the concept of exponential growth, how quickly exponential growth happens. And, you said something earlier about binary thinking, Will, and I think that was a great comment. The coronavirus is not, it's either bad or it's not bad. It's not a binary thing. It's something where I think if we're smart about it, we can have the economy open, we can have some schools, but there's, like you said, you're gonna have to take some steps to make sure you protect yourself.